Hey guys, it's Up here the Baron's Finest coming at you with my deck profile from the Bushy regionals that happened this past weekend. This will be going up probably a bit late, so probably like a week after the event because I still have to upload a deck profile that's a week late at this point. But we wound up going to the event. I wound up playing Luard, and I was the only one in my group making it to day 2, where I unfortunately was close to the top 8, but didn't quite make it because in my second round of day 2, I wound up bricking terribly, but props to the guy. Knew his deck well. Definitely came in as a surprise factor. Nobody saw him coming, where he was actually playing Ghosties. But I guess to quickly go over my rounds real fast, I did have a 2-round bye. I played against 2 Aquaforce, and this isn't in any particular order. I played against 2 Aquaforce. One I beat, one I lost to because I didn't expect the second Wailing Thavas, and I misplayed in my strides, but that's a hindsight kind of thing. Thought I played it right at the time, but just didn't. I played against a Night Rose player, which we're assuming was kind of on the sketchy side. That's not going to be here nor there, so there's that. I played against a Blaster player, so 2 Aquaforce, Night Rose, Blasters, and then I played against I also played against Chochu for day 1. Then I realized my phone is slipping on this tripod. There we go. So I played against Chochu, and those are my rounds for day 1. I lost to the Night Rose player, and I lost to one of the Aquaforce players. And then in day 2, I played against a Chaos Breaker deck that was playing a reverse engine with World Line to filter into the deck, which I thought was actually a really cool idea. And then I wound up playing against which is my final round because I lost to the guy, against Ghosty. We played Damage Denial against each other in game 1. Game 1 was really close though, just because of how much we were playing Damage Denial. But then games 2 and 3. I've never bricked that hard in my life. I drew like all of my 2s and then all my triggers, and I only played, and I play 12 2s, so like it's not like my deck is really off in ratios. It's pretty standard ratios, but I just wasn't supposed to top that day. But regardless, we're gonna get started on the deck list. And yeah, I did play Luard. So for our starter, we played Conrad. I actually still think, well, I actually haven't profiled this on the No, I haven't profiled this deck ever. So Conrad, you tuck it into Soul, discard a normal unit, check the top card of your deck. You can draw it. If not, you put it to the bottom of your deck and draw a card. The rest of the effect doesn't matter because, honestly, if it's on your board when you start striding, you're probably going to sack it. And then, if it's not on your board, you probably had to use a skill to debrick. I love this card a lot. This card got me in there so much. And then for triggers, we played 4 Belial. Card is dumb. I disagree with people that say this card needs to get hit, because honestly this deck sucked. It was very subpar and fair before this card came out, and this card just let the deck do a lot. The deck draws a lot, but it has problems, so honestly it's a fair card. I think this card is a very fair card. It gives the deck something that it didn't have before, and it needs it. 4 draws. I refuse to play without draws, in all honesty. I think this deck has such a bad gear matchup, and gears are the best deck in the game. You just kind of have to keep playing the draws. Then 4 stand. Curse-Eyed Raven. I know some people are only thinking, oh, this card's only relevant in Gross Nay Loop. No, this card is just good. However, I realized that after the event, or during the event, I kind of wish I played 1 or 2 extra crit. So I might fiddle with the ratios a little bit. I'm probably not going to keep stands at max, but I'm definitely not cutting Raven. Raven was such a good card. And then last but not least, the 4 heal. I did specifically play this heal because I am unfortunately playing the G Guardian that goes with it, but there is logic behind that. For grade 1s, we played 4 copies of our Perfect Guards SRAS. SRAS, in my opinion, is just infinitely better than Karma Collector. You don't need the unflips as much as you need PGs every turn, and you can argue, and this card's just dumb. This card enables so much. I called this card so often, and then sacked it, and then just got it back. Especially on augment turns. This card is just absolutely free. 4 copies of Abyssal Owl. Abyssal is so good. Excuse me, I'm just running a little bit out of breath. Before Abyssal, this card is insane. You just unflip for days. Get your Luard, it's great. 3 copies of Cahaden. This card, in my opinion, is probably one of the best cards in the deck. Pumping your Diablo Vanguard's 5k is so good. The on-call skill enables multi-attacks, especially if you have the hull on field just to power pump them. And I know a lot of people can say, well, why not just play Faradad if you only, since this card is only relevant on Diablo turns? It's only because of the on-call skill at the same time. This card does what you need it to do, and it's just, I love Cahaden. Part of me wanted to play a 4th, and we were playing 4 before the event, but we cut it down to 3. And then for our 1-ofs, we played 1 Stride Fodder. We played the 1 just because in the event that you either need to call it or you actually need to Stride, which I did have to do a lot. This card gets you there. 1 Swordbreaker. I really want to play 2 after the event. This card, not to necessarily resolve 2, but just to see it, because I kept either drawing it or damage checking it, or just seeing it too early, and it's like, why am I seeing this one? Granted, that is also just unlucky. It's like playing, you know, Yu-Gi-Oh! Where you draw your Gem Knight Garnet, but that's what happens. And then 1 Books. Books got me in there, but it's probably like one of the weakest cards in the deck, so I might consider cutting it for a Swordbreaker. But the fact that Books is a recruitable Fodlow was really nice. For our grade 2s, we have the best 2 in the entire deck. 4 copies of Marfessa. This card is insane. Actually, you know what? Yeah. Well, no. For Marfessa, such a strong card. This card isn't, like, swinging for 21 just for being at Ritual and then having a potential on-call skill. I actually got it off a few times, but Marfessa is such a good card. We also played 4 10k Vanillas. I just like Rugos. You gotta protect that smile of his. His smile is great. Rugos, good rush card, good anti-rush card. So I honestly recommend playing 4 10ks. I don't like Leofail in all honesty. And post the next set, well, post next set it's a maybe, because with the new Demon World Castle and with the new Alner, it's kind of hard to say, because I'm not sure how I feel about the last grade 2, which I played was 4 copies of Whole. This card is good and bad. It was a vanilla a lot of the time, but the few times I actually got the skill off, it just won, if not accelerated your game state so fast. It gave you so many free resources, it's insane. I loved Whole, but at the same time I hated Whole. Then for 3s, I don't know why I'm just so out of breath, but we played 1 Fodla and then 2 copies of Deermood. Ooh, gosh. I'm sorry, guys. But we only played 1 Fodla just because of the fact that with the 1, you really realistically only want it for a few plays throughout the game, and you only should realistically be resolving it once. So that's why we played the 1 Fodla, and then the 2 Deermood gets us into a stronger Phantom Blaster turn. I managed to cheese a couple people with this card where they had like 3 rear guards, have 1 column swing at their side, they let it die because like it's fine, I'm still at 2. Deermood swing, Deermood skill, kill a card. They have to kill a card at the end of the battle, at the end of that battle, and then Phantom Blaster them for the game. And then last but not least, our most important grade 3, 4 copies of Dragheart Luard. Luard's dumb. Luard gets you in there so fast. It's honestly, I feel like I just actually like Shadows because of this card alone, but Luard's great, especially with the support. And I'm excited for the new Luard Stride. For our G-Zone, we played our 2 Aura Geysers, 1 regular Aura Geyser Dragon and 1 Doomed. The reason we play 1-1, and I know some people say, well, why not just play like 3 Aura Geyser, 1 Doom so you can actually get the crit on Doomed? 1, there's way too much not enough G-Zone space for that. 2, you don't need the crit on Doomed. And 3, we are playing the crit as playing Doomed as a control card. This is your only real controlled method of retiring your opponent's field, so it's really important in that sense. So realistically, what you want to be doing with this card is that when they have problem cards on their field, you just want to punish them for it, plus you accelerate your game state in the process, especially with cards like Belial or SRS. So 1 and 1 is fine, you don't need more. I wouldn't cut these, but you definitely don't need more. And then if you don't have CB, or it's like, alright, they only have 2 units, and there's 1 for a fact I want to kill, you have the free Carnivore. Carnivore's in my opinion, one of the most important cards in the entire G Zone, because it's the only card that lets your Luard sack something for no cost. Because the only unfortunate thing about Abyssal, in my opinion, is that it has to be for your Luard's card effect or cost. So, because every other stride in this deck costs at least 1 CB, which granted, you typically will refund the CB for the Abyssal Owl anyways. If you just get to a game state where it's like you have to where you just try and kill, you don't kill, and then you burn all your CB, this card's a bailout card with your Abyssal Owl. 1 Spectral, this card is strong. Restanding Vanguards are good. I really wanted to play 2, but I haven't had the need for a second in so long, and I don't regret not playing the second one. 1 Ogma. I only resolved this a couple times, but this card it's such a strong blowout card, especially depending on what you follow it up with the following turn. But, Ogma. 1 Urgenvert. I did this like once, but I like this card a lot. Urgenvert gets you in there. And then our 1 Sabreeze, because G-Guardian, or, you know, we are a GB deck. We don't want to lose to people playing the grade 2 game on us. And then for our multiples, I guess, 2 copies of Phantom Blast or Diablo. I want to play 4 of this card. I don't have the room. Okay, that guy's not in my system. Excuse me. But 2 Phantom Blaster. 10k in the crit is strong. On top of that, if you sack a Hayden, it's so good. Phantom Blast is a great card. I absolutely love this card. And this is actually the reason I kind of lost against my Aquaforce matchup, because I didn't go for this. Instead, I went for the last stride, which is Drag Driver. And I know some people are going to comment and be like, Drag Driver sucks, why are you playing it? I admit, I used to hate this card at first, and I was like, I'm not even going to playtest this card. It seems like such a bad card. But Drag Driver helps your game state. On top of that, like, it actually is a strong card. I admit I was wrong about this card until I started actually playing it. Drag Driver has a few advantages to it. On top of, so if you're against matchups like awkwardly Aquaforce or like Kagura or Narukami, especially in the upcoming weeks where those decks are going to start becoming more relevant because of their new support, Drag Driver helps you out so much. Or even against Gears when they revo you, you call, even if you don't have any more face up, like you're just striding into it and have to flip the 1. You stride into 1, flip the other, call your 1. So that gets you a unit for Drag Hard skill, and then you can just sack that 1, call 2 more, and you just start replenishing your board, replenishing everything. Drag Driver, it is a very fantastic card. I like this card a lot. Obviously, if the new I believe Drag Strider is the name of the card, but like if Drag Strider has no relation to this, and then depending on how good that card is, I may or may not continue to play this card. And then 1 copy of Jolido, the Fires Collection G-Guardian. Honestly, God, this card sucks. I'm not even going to lie about it, this card just sucks. But it gave me my 4th G-Guardian. It gave me the heal trigger skill. Plus, if I need to hit a GB8 faster, I can flip a Plot Maker up with this. And then it just gives me the free Plot Maker. Or the free extra GB2. And then last but not least, 3 copies of Plot Maker Dragon. The best 2... Or not the best 2. The best G-Guardian in this entire deck. Honestly, like, this card's insane. I love this card. Just free additional 10k shield. Don't know why you wouldn't play it. But that's actually going to do it for now, guys. I hope you enjoyed this deck profile. If you did, please be sure to leave me some feedback. As for other deck profiles coming up, the 1 Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck profile that I said I was going to do will eventually be up. There's no real time limit for that deck, because it's ageless, realistically. I will probably be uploading 2 Blaster deck profiles in the near future. 1 pre and 1 post set 11. Yeah, 1 pre and 1 post set 11. And then, what else is there? I have a few decks I can probably profile. I might profile just a fun deck I've been playing before I try and offload it. And I think that's going to do it for now, guys. So until next time, peace.